Hey, what is up guys? Today we're doing a deck profile on Standard Basskirk. So this deck did just win me a shop challenge yesterday, and it was a really good time I had. I had really good matchups, I had really tough matchups too. So just so you know I'm not joshing you, I did get the buy card under my name and I did get the certificate. So this deck really just proved that how well I chose my ratio, so I hope you guys do enjoy this video. And just as a disclaimer right now, that if you do want to know like the matches I went through and how I play against certain clans, it will be in a document in the description down below, just so that this video doesn't get excessively long. And don't worry, that the document itself will be generously portioned just so that you get bite-sized information and you can just refer to it whenever you want to know, oh, I can use these tactics to play against these clans. So I hope that does help you out, and without further ado, let's get started. So first and foremost, we have for Big Daddy Basskirk. Basskirk's skill is that when you have 10 or more cards in drop, you gain 5k in a crit. The constant crit pressure is super good. And his act once per turn, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, call a card from draw zone, and he gets 5k increments depending on his grade. So if you call grade 3, it gets an additional 15k. If you call grade 2, 10k, etc. So just because of the fact that on your first ride, even if you don't have 10 cards in drop zone, he'll already be at least a 17k body. Even if he doesn't have the crit, it's super nice. And then once you do have 10 cards in drop zone, if you do call grade 3, he gets 20k and a crit, so 32k base with a crit. Ooh, super nice. Our next grade 3 is on the dragon. On the dragon cannot be normal called, so you can't call it to rearguard circle or guardian circle. However, you can ride it for a protect marker, and its skill, where it gets 2k per card in drop zone, is super good. It gets really massive really fast, as well as when it does retire at the end of battle, which is actually a good thing in some matchups, and I'll explain it in the document down below. Mostly against machining, so there is that. And lastly, for our grade 3 turning 9 is Violent Flanger. Yeah, Violence Flanger. Oh my god, I can't say the name properly. So, Violence Flanger skill is Act Vanguard Rearguard. So also grade 3, discard any number of cards from your hand, this unit gets plus 5k until the end of the turn. And for the battle, this unit attack, your opponent cannot call Sentinels on top of the grades of the units you discarded. So basically, the Soul Blast grade 3, immediately they cannot use Sentinels. However, on top of it, if you discard grades 0, 1, and 2, they can't go with those grades either. So it's basically a 6 damage ping, and it's super nice because usually you can't stop it even with 2 intercepts. And the reason I run 2 ofs is because 2 ofs is really the lowest you can go in this deck for consistency reasons. And Flanger does way more than Negro Breach. Just because that even if Zambanku comes out, I feel like the Superior Ride Counterblast 2 does detriment the deck, whereas I can just Counterblast and Soul Blast 1 and call a big beat stick and just still pressure them with that. So that's why I value Flanger as a 2 of and have 9 grade 3s. So next we're gonna go under grade 2s. We have 4 Commoner Blue Blood. God, this card got me so many guard because of the annoying on hit this does, plus U2 in drop and plus U1 in hand if you call from Basskirk. Super good. So his skill is that when you have a copy of him in drop, he gets continuous 4k, so he's a 13k base, hits Force Vanguard, and when he hits, retire himself, draw 2 cards, discard 1. So plus 2 in drop and plus 1 in hand, again, if you call it via Basskirk. This card got me so many wins just because I baited out so many guards, because usually what will happen is that my Vanguard will already have a crit, I just call Blue Blood from drop zone, usually 14k. So they're usually gonna PG the Vanguard or protect it to Protect clan. And now they're gonna debate to let this hit or not if they want damage, because sometimes when I do swing with this, they have 0 counterblast, so either they let this hit or they let a big dragon hit, which I usually just swing out a rearguard for to maximize the amount of cards they will lose in hand. Next we have 3 Night Mist. Generic color, skill being auto when placed, counterblast 1. You can call up to grade 1 or less from your drop zone. If you have 10 or more cards, it's no longer grade restricted. So what's important about this deck is that sometimes you can't keep rewriting Basskirk, and if you can't keep rewriting Basskirk and you do run out of soul because you didn't ride Romario or you had a really unoptimal writing up until now, Night Mist is there to kind of compensate for that. At 10 cards in drop, you will have the crit, and you can use Night Mist to call cards like Dragon or Flanger onto the board. So that's why Night Mist is really good. Next we have 3 Ruin Shade. Ruin Shade skills basically on attack, you mill 2, it gets plus 4k, and if you have 10 more cards in drop, has a continuous another plus 4k. So basically, late game, if you do mill 2, it's a 17k, which is a 10k shield for protect. Honestly, against force, I don't bother milling late game because it's usually very situational. Once I do have 10, I have 10. This is still 13k beat stick. So I entered this tournament actually with these ratios, and this is now my favorite ratios and my ideal ratios now. I actually wanted to go with 4 Ruin Shade. Just as a disclaimer, I do have a 4th OR, but my friend slept in, and I had to enter the tournament with this. Dude, the guy came in at the last match in the finals and just gave me this. I'm like, oh sorry, I'm late. I'm like, boy. But thanks to him, I managed to find out a couple more Commoner Blue Bloods way better, because the last match was a mirror match as a Granblue. Just a little spoiler for that. And mirror matches honestly, mirror matches is the worst for this deck, just because whoever can keep rewriting and opens up the best literally just wins the game. It's not even just it's not solely just trigger stacking. So now we're gonna move on to our grade 1s and triggers. Okay, grade 1 wise, we have 4 Romario. Romario's skill being that if you have 10 more cards in drop, he gets a continuous 4K, so 12K booster, as well as when this unit's ridden upon, so when you ride upon it if he's on your Vanguard, Counterblast 1, put a card from your hand into your soul, mill 3, and pick a card from your drop zone. So if you do mill cards before you ride grade 2, you can pick from those cards too. Basically a drop zone setup as well as a hand fix, I guess, but he's a really good first ride and a really good booster later in the game. Next we have 4 Cutlass. Countercharge engine, because Cutlass's skill is act, bind a copy of itself, call a copy of itself onto the board, mill 1, countercharge 1. So it is our main countercharge engine. Even though it's a 6K base, it's beneficial sometimes, because sometimes I just ride this in a mirror match. I actually kind of want to ride this first, because then I can go for 1 pass. They usually will no guard it because they want the counterblast for Romario. I usually ride this. Oh look, 1 pass. If I get a crit, boom, there are 2 damage. If I don't, if I don't get a trigger, oh look, they can't use Romario, and they either choose to stick on Romario to get the skill or to ride up, which they will not set up drops on it as well, especially if they whiffed Ruin Shade. So that's why Cutlass is really good even as a 6K base, and it's a 10K shield, so there's that. Next we have 3 2-ofs. Fatal Shade, sorry, Evil Shade, oh my god. Evil Shade, Night Jewir, Norman the Ghostly. As I said before, 2-ofs is the lowest you can go in this deck for consistency reasons, and each of these cards have their own benefits. Norman gives 10k to a unit. His act is retire this card from regular circle, mill 2, give it 10k to a unit. So he boosts Flanger up, so that even if so that your opponent can basically virtually no guard it in some games, and he pluses you 3 in drop because he himself goes to drop zone. Night Jewish goes on place, mill 1 card. If you have 10 or more cards, he gets 10k. So basically, if you have 10 or more cards, you place him. He's an 18k base. Even against Force Vanguards by himself for a mill of 1, he will demand a 10k shield. Your opponent's at 5 damage. And Evil Shade is basically another Night Miss. It's act 1's return counterblast 1. Choose a card from your drop zone and bind it, and you call the same copy of that card to the rear guard. So basically, another backup for Basskirk if again you run out of soul, or yeah, just back up for Basskirk if you just run out of soul and you just can't keep rewriting because again, soul issue, or you want to conserve soul because you want to see that grade 3 in soul for Flanger. Lastly, we're gonna go on to grade 0s. We're gonna run, of course, 4 heals, 6 crit. You can run whatever arts you want. I like 4 too. And lastly, we run 6 draws. Run 6 draws, and Guiding Zombie is our forerunner. So Guiding Zombie is our forerunner. And 6 draws, 4 PGs, 4 vanilla draws. So people tell me like, oh, you can't run more than really 4 because you're losing crit pressure, as well as you're gonna deck out. Actually, this is not Premium or G era where you will deck out because you have so many milling cards. No, in this game you want to see your cards as fast as possible. You want to see your key units, and the draw trigger defensively is super good in any deck. As well as if you do draw this card in hand and you're on Romario, he's the best card to go into soul because you're not losing anything. You may be losing a trigger value, but you're losing less of a shield value. Whereas if you run 8 crits and you saw a crit in hand, you're losing a 15k shield value. Here I'll just throw away the draw value and I'll just throw away the trigger value and the 5k shield without really having to feel bad because, oh, it's the only 5k shield, and it does increase guarding efficiency sometimes because we don't really have a lot of 5k shield, and the 5k shields we do have, we kind of want to save in hand for Flanger to discard or as a rear guard to call if we so need to and we don't have enough resources to keep calling from drop zone. So really, he helps with guard efficiency, defensive wise, as well as he's the best card to go to soul for Romario. And Guiding Zombie because only good foreigner, you know, for protect. Just as a disclaimer that I do have 2 Nagisas and 1 Goki coming in the mail, but Lucky Nagisa, hell yeah. But these are just here as placeholders, but I do have 2 Nagisa and 2 Goki underway. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any tips or questions of how to pilot against some decks, feel free to message me on my Facebook or on my email. And I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.